Hey, what is up guys? Sam here. Welcome back to another video. The Apple March event is so close. I'm recording, oh my god, it's February 16th when I'm recording this. The Apple March event is literally a month away. We've heard the date March 16th historically, and I'm gonna tell you why on top of like AirTags, iPad Pro, some Mac stuff coming. I have a very intimate personal interest in this event because I'm in a bit of a situation here with this iMac behind me. All right, so drop a like if you're looking forward to this video, and of course, to stay up to date on the latest Apple news, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on that bell for notifications so that you never miss a beat and are always knowing what's happening. This video is sponsored by Audible. All right, so first let's talk about the date, right? Because that's like the most concrete thing that we can legitimately put on our calendars and be like, wow, I'm really excited for this. So we're hearing March 16th, 2021. A lot of you are probably like, all right, so you just kind of pull that one out of your... No, I didn't pull it out of my duck noise, Daphne. All right, this is from a credible source. We got this date actually a few months ago. A lot of you may have forgotten, which is fair. John Prosser actually gave us this date for a March 16th event all the way back, I think in November of last year. Now, because this is like a few months old at this point, there's a good chance that things may have changed internally at Apple, but like it makes sense for a lot of reasons. One, it's right in the middle of the month, and March 16th too, is a Tuesday. Apple always holds events at the beginning of the week on a Tuesday or Wednesday. You might be like, why? Why do they always do Tuesday? It's just kind of their favorite day. Well, it gives us Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to talk about what happened at that event. Like, you know, they do it at the beginning of the week, the rest of the coverage for the rest of the week from a lot of like media and people like me, YouTubers, you know, we talk about it for those following days prior to everybody forgetting everything because it's the weekend. Products, though, are going to be at the center of this because this is not going to be one of those weird Apple events where it's like just service. You guys remember that 2019 event where it was just Apple TV and the Apple Card and the Apple Plus news? Like, it was an Apple event, you know, I will give them that, but there was really no hardware there. This is like going to be a legitimate hardware unveil with three main focuses. One is AirTags, two, a brand new iPad Pro, and three, the product that trumps both of those 10 times over that I think will change a lot for a lot of people, the redesigned iMacs. All right, so let's start off with AirTags. You guys have heard about these by now. I want to spend like less than 30 seconds talking about them. They are going to be Apple's entry into tracking devices. Inside will be an ultra wideband chip that will allow you to accurately find your stuff within a couple of millimeters due to the precision of this chip. We don't know about pricing. We know they're going to come with a leather keychain. There have been countless leaks in iOS 14 about them being imminent. I mean, we got our first look at these months ago and they look very Apple-esque. Like, don't get me wrong, they're beautiful, but we've talked about these enough. Listen, this is an insignificant product. I don't see any long-term implications for this product for Apple. It's just gotten delayed a bunch because of the pandemic with everybody inside. Apple was like, maybe we don't launch something that would require you to walk out and lose things in the real world. I'm fully over AirTags. What can I say? I'm fully over AirTags. Just like this guy, but what are you doing? You bored?
Yeah, can I take 5 minutes?
Yeah, I am gonna call you out.
To listen to this title on Audible?
Wait, you're reading the Steve Jobs book?
You know the famous one? The one by Walter Isaacson? You know, white background, grayscale photo? It's actually really good. You know, there's a reason that people read.
Well, I don't see you read. Oh. On Audible. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment, and you can find it all in one place. You can find the largest selection of audiobooks on here, from bestsellers and new releases to something more specific like the Steve Jobs book I'm reading. And on top of that, they have thousands of binge-worthy podcasts on here too. So when new members go to audible.com/iupdate or text iupdate to 500-500, you can try Audible for 30 days for free, and you get 1 credit every month for any title in the entire premium selection.
It's just so great. You guys have gotta try it. It's so good. You just listen and you learn.
Why can't school be like this? Why couldn't we just close our eyes at school and just learn in audio form? It's so great. It's audible.com/iupdate. Text iupdate to 500-500. Get started, learn, be inspired. Listen to something while you're driving today. Now, following that, we get to the 2021 iPad Pro, which we have also actually seen not our first like legitimate images of, but the rough renders. Like, this is basically what Apple designs and then sends to factories to manufacture. It's called a CAD file, and there's just a couple of minor changes here. Number one, for the cameras, apparently there will be nothing raised. Like, the piece of glass on top of here will cover everything. The LiDAR sensor, the flash, the 2 lenses, the wide and ultra wide angle camera will be remaining yet again in 2021, but it's just going to be like one flat piece of glass. Speaker holes, they're going to decrease. It's going to be 8 instead of 12. On stereo, like sides, all 4 corners around the device. That's really small, but like everything else is gonna be the same. Like this is the same iPad Pro as before. This is the second reiteration of that 2018 radical redesign. And honestly, like I don't want them to change it. Generally, I'm always calling for like a radical change to some product. But I just love the form factor of the iPad so much right now that I'd be kind of disappointed if Apple went back to like the rounded edges. I just think they've hit their stride with this iPad Pro, and they know it. That's why they're keeping this design for at least another year. So it's like, okay, well then what is changing? Why would I buy this if it's the same? Well, the main upgrade this year is going to be huge because it's going to be the first time Apple has used the screen technology called Mini LED. Now, of course, Apple's not going to call it the iPad Pro Mini LED display. It's going to be called like the Apple Retina 4K or the Apple Retina Plus or the Apple Burn Your Retina Out It's So Good display. They're going to have a clever marketing name for it. But what it means is it's got increasingly deep black levels, like OLED, something comparable to that. It's going to look way more sharp than an LCD display because the contrast is going to be significantly improved. And it's apparently supposed to be more power efficient as well. This display is going to be pretty phenomenal. And it is absolutely going to be the main reason anybody would want to look at this if you're an artist, a filmmaker, somebody that like wants the best possible screen on your tablet. This is going to be the iPad to buy. Not sold yet? You're getting 5G on this iPad. Oh wait, you're still not sold? I mean, there's going to be a faster processor as well, and there have even been rumors of a black Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil has not been updated in 2 years, so I absolutely think it's time for an upgrade. We've heard this next generation Apple Pencil could actually have like the U1 chip inside, the same thing that will be in AirTags. That's like the spatial awareness thing, and maybe it'll even have like Find My functionality if you lose your Apple Pencil. But those rumors are from a source that's I think around 50% credible, so I would take those, you know, pretty conservatively. But yeah, a new iPad Pro 100% is coming. It's been a year since we last saw one, and I think like if the screen is as insane as it's supposed to be, like it could very well be worth upgrading for that because it's supposed to look just absolutely ridiculous. But moving on to the third product, as I've previewed, there's a product I care about this much more than everything else at this Apple event, and that is the redesigned iMacs with Apple Silicon. We're talking like M2 or M1X chip inside, and I just need these to come out. All right, you know, I'm in a dangerous spot right now. I've been going on Apple's site and I've been looking at the Intel Mac Pro and the 18-core Intel iMac Pro because recently I've upgraded like every part of my workflow, and it turns out that even if you spec out the new iMac that came out last year, like the fastest possible version of it, it's too slow to handle the footage I'm using. Like it's not even like 8K footage or anything, it's just like 4K 10-bit. And I've just noticed every part of my workflow is slowing down by the day because Intel chips are absolute garbage. I would never admit this when there wasn't something better, but now that I've seen Apple Silicon, I don't want anything else but that. And according to Min Chico and a number of other sources, this new iMac was actually supposed to come out at the end of 2020, but Apple pushed it back just a little bit. This new iMac is supposed to be coming in the first half of this year. I think some sources have even said the first quarter, which would be at this March event. And I don't see Apple not announcing this on stage at a proper product unveil. Like they're not going to put out a redesigned computer with their brand new Apple Silicon inside and not make a big deal about it. And here's why they should make a big deal about it. Because this iMac is going to be the most significant upgrade to the iMac line in the computer's history. It is going to be a redesign. It is going to look very similar to the Pro Display XDR, not in just the squared off edges and the flat back, but with the ultra thin minimalistic bezels that are going to make that screen content just pop. I mean, it's kind of insane to think that like the iMac has just had a 5K display for years. Do you see the bezel? It's so bad. Like every one of Apple's other products has gotten rid of the bezel, and this new iMac is going to be doing that as well. We're hearing Face ID was planned for it, but unfortunately it got cut. But these iMacs are just around the corner. We have been hearing about them for months now, and it makes sense for Apple to unveil this at a new event. I mean, the 23-inch iMac hasn't been updated in a couple of years at this point. Like they updated the 27-inch just because I think they needed to push it out at the end of last year. The 23-inch hasn't been touched. at all. So that's what I believe is coming at the March event. Now, there's some of you out there that are like, well, but what about the iPhone? What about AirPods? What about the redesigned MacBook Pros that are coming? I believe that all these things are coming in 2021 as well. I mean, like timeline-wise, we're thinking the new MacBook Pros redesigned are coming sometime this summer in the June or July timeframe. New iPhones obviously in September. However, there actually is a small possibility that we do get AirPods 3 and AirPods Pro 2 at this Apple March event, but we've heard more like April, May is the timeline right now for new versions of AirPods. I'm gonna go back to it again. I just want this iMacs. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like down below, or if you learned something new. And of course, hit subscribe so you're always up to date on the latest Apple info and you're always, buying stuff at the right time. It's cool. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. Love you. Check out Audible. I'll see you in my next video.